All right, guys, let's talk about my favorite muscle group to train, and probably most guys' favorite muscle group to train, and that is the chest. I love training my chest, my favorite workout of the week. You can train your chest once or twice a week depending on how much you want to grow it, or if that's your lagging body part, or if that's the one you want to bring up the most. But let's talk some serious things, guys. There are things that you do need to do, there are things that you don't need to do, and there are some things that you absolutely don't need to do, especially if you're my age. We don't lift heavy. Again, I'm going to say that again. Do not lift heavy. You're not in the gym to prove that you're Hercules or that you can outlift this guy or you can bench more than this guy. That's out the door. We're here to build muscle. We're here to burn fat. We're here to shape your body. So with that being said, eliminate maxes. Eliminate the 1 rep max. Eliminate the 3 rep max. Eliminate the 5 rep max. Say, I can lift this much for 5 reps. That's gone. There are different muscle fibers in your chest. There's different ways that the muscle fibers connect. You want to hit all of those muscle fibers, and you cannot do that by lifting heavy. You want to be doing different type of movements, whether it's from bottom to top, top to bottom, side to side, or straight forward. That is going to give you the most growth in your chest by hitting each one of those muscle fiber groups. Guys, on every set that you do, excluding your warm-up sets, go to failure. You might do 1 to 2 warm-up sets per exercise where you're not going to failure, but you're really pumping that muscle pretty good. Then you're going to do at least 2 working sets, meaning you're going to take that muscle to failure and push past it. Okay, now guys, I'm going to talk about something you probably don't want to hear. Eliminate the barbell bench press from your workout. Now, I'm not saying that it can't lead to gains. I am not saying that it doesn't have benefits. What I am saying is that it is the #1 exercise that leads to injury. All right, so how much weight should I lift, Chad? That's a good question. Guys, when you're first warming up, you always want to start out light. When I say light, something that is going to be easy for you to do in those warm-up sets, where you're not fatiguing yourself, but you really can concentrate on making that mind-muscle connection. But when it gets into those working sets where you're really trying to get the most out of it, select the weight that is going to allow you to barely finish the rep scheme that you're shooting for. Now, that's just something you have to determine over time. You can get a pretty good idea your first couple workouts, but you're going to try to get heavier as time goes on because you're going to get stronger, you're going to build more muscle. But your goal to shoot for is just enough weight to be able to barely finish or not finish and have someone help you with the last 1 or 2 reps of the set. One of my favorite exercises is the incline, what I call hammer press. You're going to want to put your bench at about a 15-degree angle. Remember, the higher the bench angle, the less you're going to hit your chest, the more you're going to be hitting your front deltoids in your shoulders. You're going to bring the dumbbells up, you're going to bring them together, you're going to bring them down to the middle of your chest. Press up and back to where it's almost like an angle coming back over your chin, then bring your elbows back down into a neutral position at a 45-degree angle. Okay, the next exercise to concentrate on is the incline dumbbell press. The mistake that a lot of people do when they're doing this pressing movement is keeping the hands and the elbows straight out at a 90-degree angle to your shoulders. Now, what are you doing when you're doing that? You're putting a lot of pressure on your shoulder joint. You're also going to be pulling more with that front delt than you are with that front top of the pec. You're trying to target the very top of that pec. When you bring these dumbbells in, you're going to bring them up, your wrist turn at about a 45, just a neutral degree angle. Keep your elbows in, bring it down, straight down, keep your elbows to your side, bring it straight back up over your midline and back down. Arch your back, shoulder blades together, and press. Inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. Never hold your breath. All right, guys, let's talk about flies. Okay, for a fly, you're going to have your dumbbells, you're going to give them straight up over your head. You're going to be leaning back on the bench. Again, bring your shoulder blades together, arch your back, and keep your feet flat on the floor. Bring the dumbbells up, bring them out with a slight bend in your elbow to stretch where you're almost quite to 90 degrees. You don't want to stretch too far to avoid injury. You don't have to bring these all the way down to the floor, but get it to where you feel a big stretch, then contract with your shoulder blades still together, Do not bang the dumbbells together. If you're banging those dumbbells together at the top, you've just lost tension on that pec. You want to keep tension the entire time. The more time under tension, the more growth that you're going to have. Okay, now that we learned how to do the hammer press, how to do the dumbbell press, and how to do the fly, we're going to move from the incline down to the flat bench. This is going to target the more center of the pec, both the inside, the outside, and the middle of it. So let's start with the flat bench press. You're going to take the dumbbells again, same form, elbows together in a neutral position, not out to the side. You're going to keep your wrists at that 45-degree angle. You're going to press up with your elbows in a neutral position, your back arched, your shoulder blades together. That stays that way the entire press. Up, down. Slow and controlled. We are not here to go as fast as we can to get as many reps as possible. Quality reps mean more than the quantity of reps. Okay, then we're going to move to the flat bench fly. You're going to bring the dumbbells up. You're going to keep the shoulder blades together. You're going to keep the back arched. You're going to bring the dumbbells down with a slight bend in the elbows. You're just bringing them up to where you're still feeling that tension and bringing it down, the stretch, up, tension, down, slow and controlled to get that weight to where it is contracting that muscle as much as you can for that rep scheme. Okay guys, now we're going to move on to an exercise that I like to use to target the lower portion of the pec. These are dumbbell pullovers. You're going to go to the bench. You're going to lie back on the bench to where only the portion of your neck and the upper part of your shoulders are touching the bench. Pick the dumbbell up from the side of the bench, raise it over your head. As you lower the dumbbell back over your head, you're going to lower your hips to the floor. This causes the maximum stretch on that pec that you can get. Be very careful, don't overextend this, but go to where you feel that stretch in the pec. As you bring the dumbbell back and you contract the pec, bring your hips up towards the ceiling. As you bring it back down, your hips are going to go back down to the floor. Now, you do not want to go too far back, nor do you want to go too far forward when you raise the dumbbell. The more forward you bring it, the less tension you put on that muscle. You want to keep that muscle under constant tension throughout that rep scheme. Now, as a finisher, guys, I like to go into push-ups. The best finisher you can do. Again, these are going to be wide push-ups, and you're going to keep your elbows out. Remember, if you're doing push-ups, if your elbows are locked into your side, you're targeting your triceps. If your elbows are out, you're going to be targeting your chest. Go down, keep your back arched and straight, down, up, slow and controlled reps, and you're going to go to failure. Once you cannot do any more, go to your knees. If you have to go to your knees, that is perfectly fine, guys, because at this point, it's not about ego. It's about getting the most out of that muscle we can. Finish doing as many reps on your knees as you can till you can't possibly do another one. And then you can fall flat on the floor and rest for a second. Okay, so how many reps do I do? How many sets do I do? Guys, what matters is getting that muscle to exhaustion. Okay guys, so we've talked about the do's and don'ts of chest, how not to injure yourself, but how you can get the most out of a chest workout. Just with these 6 exercises alone, guys, you can build a massive chest. And not just for guys, girls, don't skip these workouts. Chest development is big for guys as much as it is girls. Thanks for watching, guys. For more information on how you can get the most out of your workout, check out peakbody.com for their supplementation line. Thanks for watching.